Okay, time to make the magic happen. We just saw how our layout gets hooked up with the crystal ball activity code that controls how it operates. Now we need to access the views in our layout from the code and manipulate them so that tapping on the button displays an answer in our TextView label. We'll start by declaring the two views we want. Let's add a comment to our code to help explain how it works. Type in // declare our view variables. Comments in code are text that does not have any effect on the program when it runs. They're just here to help us understand it better when we read through the code. They're completely ignored when the code is processed. This is an example of a single-line comment, but we can also create multi-line comments by using a / and an asterisk. The catch is that we always need to close multi-line comments with a corresponding asterisk and /. If I hit return and enter a new line, Eclipse will automatically add what we need. Okay, so we said we're going to declare our view variables. On the next line, I'll add a TextView variable and call it answer label. Declaring the TextView variable is done the same way we did a string variable before, only we used TextView as the data type instead of string. Now let's add a button called getAnswerButton. Now, why did these red lines appear under our data types? Well, that's because we haven't told our MainActivity class what a TextView or button is. In Java, you need to reference the definitions of your data types by using something called an import statement. By default, the class only knows about simple data types like strings and numbers, and we need to explicitly import other data types. Look at line 3 up here. Click on the little plus sign and you can expand all the import statements for this class. But how do we know what to add for a TextView and button? These statements have full package names, and unless you're a robot, you're probably not going to remember all the package names for all the data types you'll need. Fortunately, Eclipse has made it very easy for us by giving us a command called organize imports that will add the correct import statements. Click on Source in the menu at the top and then select Organize Imports. Voila! Notice that the two import statements have been added for button and TextView, and the red lines have disappeared below. There's a helpful keyboard shortcut that does the same thing, and it's a good one to learn as you'll end up using this command a lot. It will save you a little bit of time by keeping your hands on the keyboard rather than moving to the mouse. On a Mac, press Command, Shift, and O together, or in Windows, press Control, Shift, and O. Now we need to assign values to these variables. Just like before when we assigned our name to the myName string variable, we need some code that says, hey, layout, give me that TextView named TextView1, and give me that button I named Button1. Fortunately, the activity class has just such a method for us. After answer label, type in space equals space, find view by ID. Make sure to get the same capital letters, and then do open parentheses. Eclipse kindly adds the closing parentheses for us. The find view by ID method requires an ID as its parameter, but rather than just type in the ID from the layout, we must refer to it through a generated resource class. Android automatically builds a class for us called the R class, where R stands for resources, and this class contains all the IDs we added to files in the res directory. Type r dot and see what happens. Eclipse gives us some options using IntelliSense. Notice that the options correspond to the subdirectories in the res directory. Type id dot and a new IntelliSense menu appears. This one contains all the IDs in our project. Select TextView1 and hit enter, and it will get added to our code. That should be enough, but we still have a red error line, which means something is wrong. Hover over the red line to get some IntelliSense about the error. This error is shown because the findViewById method returns a view, but we said our answer label variable is a text view, not a regular view. If we change our variable to be a regular view instead of a text view, then notice that the error goes away. But this just makes the error go away without actually fixing the problem. We need this to be a text view, so let's change it back and see how to fix it the correct way. Android could have a find method for every kind of view, like find TextViewById and find ButtonById, but that would be a lot of methods. Instead, because TextView is a kind of view, or a subclass of view, we can fix this with something known as a cast. A cast allows us to say that one data type, in this case the view returned by our method, can safely be cast as another data type, a text view in this example. We know that the view returned will in fact be a text view So we add the cast to TextView in parentheses in front of the method call. Select the first quick fix in the IntelliSense menu to see it in action. Bingo! Answer label is set. On to Get Answer button. It's pretty much the same code, but notice that the ID is different as well as the cast to a button instead of a text view. Let's try adding it as a code challenge.